Hello and a very good evening from Look North. Hospitals across our region are under extreme pressure today, with some telling us they're facing higher demand than ever. A large number of elderly and frail patients are suffering from flu and COVID, while staff shortages because of vacancies and sickness are making things worse. Some planned operations have had to be cancelled, with waits at A&E of up to 12 hours. With more, here's David Rhodes.
The NHS in West Yorkshire today reporting that it is under real significant strain at the moment because of the number of people it is trying to treat. That is why NHS bosses in this part of Yorkshire have warned that people arriving at A&E may experience waits of up to 10, maybe even 12 hours before they are treated. That is why one senior doctor today has described to Look North how this is the busiest that this A&E department has ever been in nearly 2 decades.
The demand that we're seeing is huge. Our departments are incredibly congested. There are very, very long waits to be seen by a doctor. And for those that need admission to hospitals, huge waits for a bed in really poor conditions, I'm afraid. Far, far below the sort of level of care we would aspire to deliver. But unfortunately, the demand is just completely outstripping our resources at the moment.
We were told during COVID that the NHS was struggling. We're told every winter that the NHS struggles. Why is this winter different?
This winter is different because of it's a sequence of events. As I say, it's this incremental problems in social care. It's the incremental complexity of the health problems in the community. It's challenges across the entire system.
And it's just not hospitals who are struggling at the moment. Local GP practices as well are coming under real pressure. Health bosses here in West Yorkshire have written to GP practices today saying that GPs should stand down routine activity and patients should be seen before sending to hospitals. Those who work in general practice say every part of the system is struggling at the moment.
In the general practice is already delivering more appointments than ever before on record, with a smaller workforce than ever before, and we're already trying to prioritise urgent care. We can only give out each appointment once, and the demand is just far beyond the capacity currently within the system.
With the New Year holiday on the horizon, NHS bosses here in West Yorkshire are asking members of the public to think hard before they use any NHS services in the days to come. The advice is simple though. If you have a life-threatening illness or condition, the NHS is open to treat you. But the message from NHS bosses at the moment is that this is one of the worst winters they've had in recent years. David Rhodes, BBC Look North, Leeds.
New research shows York has seen the biggest rise in house prices in the country. They're up by 23% in a year, according to research by Halifax Bank. But roughly 35 miles away, Hull has seen the second biggest fall in the UK, with prices there down by 3%. Major engineering works at York Railway Station are almost finished. A £6 million project has seen the renewal of 2.7 kilometres of track and 9 sets of points since Christmas Eve. It's due for completion on January the 2nd, with teams working around the clock on the upgrades, which should boost reliability and reduce disruption. Now let's take a look at yesterday's football, and Huddersfield Town moved off the bottom of the Championship table with a 2-0 win over Rotherham United. Dwayne Holmes opened the scoring with his first goal of the season, and Jordan Rhodes doubled the lead. Now elsewhere, James McAtee ran almost the full length of the field to score the winner for Sheffield United as they beat Blackpool by 2-1 to claim a 5th straight victory. And there it goes. In League One, Sheffield Wednesday extended their unbeaten run to 12 matches as they beat Port Vale 2-0, Michael Smith scoring both. The Owls are third, just 1 place above Barnsley, who beat Fleetwood 2-1. Head coach Michael Duff was sent off after the Reds were denied a penalty, but Robbie Cundy scored a late winner anyway. And in League Two, Bradford moved up into the playoff places by beating Harrogate 1-0. And if you were late to your seat, you'd have missed this one. Tyreek Wright got the goal in the very first minutes. Elsewhere, a great game at the Keepmoat Stadium as Doncaster Rovers beat Rochdale by 4-3. Now, a man from Sheffield has spent 24 hours running and walking to raise money for charity and to encourage more men to deal with their mental health. Lee Freeman was hoping to run 4 marathons by doing laps around Rother Valley Country Park, but an injury in the early hours of this morning meant not everything went to plan, as Tanya Arnold has been finding out.
Smash it.
Lee Freeman set off a man with a mission to change attitudes to mental health.
In the past, I've attempted to take my own life twice. Many of my friends have taken their own life. The problem is, at the moment, nobody's getting the help they need. So people are going to the doctors, they've got mental health problems, they're experiencing suicidal feelings, depressed feelings, anxious feelings. They're simply getting given a packet of tablets and being put on a waiting list. It's not good enough. More needs to be done.
The challenge was a very tough one, 4 marathons in 24 hours. And eventually, the nighttime stint took its toll.
We've just suffered a bit of a torn Achilles, which is a little bit of a nightmare, but we've passed the 3 marathons, so we're going to push on to the 24 hours and see where we can get to.
How you can even keep moving with the torn Achilles, how are you doing this?
Yeah, we've quite heavily strapped it up, so it's kind of immobilised at the moment. So it's been a really long night as well with the weather as well. It's been like literally torrential rain and gale force winds as well, so we've been getting blown all over. But yeah, fortunately things were massively on track, but we've taken a bit of a setback with this, but we're going to crack on and push out to the 24 hours as best we can.
So why does this mean quite so much to you?
The main reason was that it was in memory of my mother, it was her birthday yesterday. So she died when I was 6 months old, so we did it in memory of her, which was why the date was so important. And people are like, you crackers doing it at this time of year, obviously with the weather and the wind and the rain, but that's why the date was so important.
Come on, Lee!
What he's done is remarkable, but while the mind was willing, in the end, his body wasn't. He'll be back, though.
We'll accept the lessons, we'll come back, we'll set a new day, and we'll make sure we hit the 4 marathons next time.
Well, I think we'll forgive him. That's still an incredible achievement, isn't it? Now, on to the weather prospects. Here's Abby with the forecast.
Hello there. Good evening. A few showers overnight tonight and then quite unsettled as we head through New Year's Eve and indeed some of New Year's Day as well. As you can see, a bit more clouds going to build in the early hours of tomorrow morning. Rain is going to start to make its way up from the southwest too. These will be our overnight lows, 5 or 6 degrees. So an unsettled start to your day tomorrow. That early rain will clear, leaving quite a lot of clouds, some showery outbreaks of rain, and these are set to continue on and off during the day and evening. If you are heading out to celebrate New Year's Eve, bear that in mind, but relatively mild, highs of 12 degrees.
Well, at least we're into double figures. That's it from us. Do have a lovely evening. We'll be back with the latest news and weather just after 10 o'clock. Hope you can join us then. Goodbye.